video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I created this really fun look right here. It is very colorful, very fun. There is a lot involved, as you guys can see. There's a lot of line work going on, but I think it is so much fun. And I wasn't going to film this look for YouTube, but I haven't even posted it on Instagram yet. Obviously, by the time you guys are seeing this tutorial, I did post it on Instagram, but I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just go ahead and film the tutorial, because what if you guys want to learn how to do this look? I know this is not an everyday look. This is not your average colorful look, but like I said in previous videos, I love bringing you guys more artistic, creative looks that you typically can't learn on YouTube, because there isn't many videos that actually have full-on tutorials to show you how to achieve a look like this. So I think this look is super cute. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I think it is so stunning, and it's actually not as hard as you might think it is. As you guys can see, we're using a ton of color, a lot of different colored liners. I'm actually using a lot of water activated liners for today's look. So with that being said, I'm only focusing on the eye makeup for today's video. I'm not doing a full glam like I usually do. So if you guys are interested in anything as far as what I'm wearing as complexion, like foundation, cream bronzer, concealer, things like that, all of those details are going to be down below in the description box. But for today's look specifically, we are just going to be focusing on the eye makeup. So we're going to go ahead and jump into today's video. Before we do, please don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you guys have not already. And of course, without further ado, if you would like to know how to create a really fun, colorful makeup look like this one, then just keep on watching. Okay, so let's get straight into this eye look. So I already applied my P.LOUISE base in the shade Rumor 2.5. You guys can see it's been sitting on my eyelids for a minute. That's why it's all creasy, but that's okay. We're going to be using some other bases as well in today's look. So I'm going to be using this beautiful pastel blue right here. This is the shade Touch of Frost. And then I'm going to be using this color right here, which is called Winter Rose. So I'm going to take it on this flat brush. This one's from P.LOUISE, and I'm just going to go ahead and pack on that pink first, and I'm going to put it in the inner part of my lid, obviously, because that's where I'm going to have the pink eyeshadow. And the reason why I'm doing this, especially for this look, is because we're going to be working with lighter pastel shades, and I really want them to stand out and pop. So using a colored base that's exactly the same shade as the eyeshadow you're going to put over top is just going to help it look really nice and vibrant and really help that color stand out. So now I'm going to go in with the blue, and I'm going to put that on the half that I didn't have any product yet. And this look is going to be a little bit harsh on the eyelid at first. You guys can see even with the other eye that the blue and the pink really don't mesh together, but that is okay because we're going to cover it with a shimmer eyeshadow. So for eyeshadow today, I'm going to be going in with a few palettes. This is the first palette I'm going to be using. It's from GLAMLITE. This is the Ice Cream Dream palette, and I'm going to be using those two beautiful pinks first. Those are the shades Mochi and Bubblegum. So I'm first going in with Bubblegum, and you guys can see that because I have that light pastel pink base underneath, when I'm going over top with the eyeshadow, it is just extremely vibrant. Like, it just is so beautiful. And then I did go in with the shade Mochi just to really diffuse it and bring it up towards the brow. Keep in mind, you really want to blow out your shadows for this look because we're going to be doing all that crazy liner work. So the next color I'm going to be going in with is the shade Pumpkin, and I'm going to put that right towards the front of my brow and kind of mix it into that yellow that I put right on top of the bridge of my nose, just so that way it had a really nice seamless blend. What I'm going to do next is go ahead and basically deepen up the pink just a little bit. To do that, I'm going to be going in with the BPERFECT Carnival XL Pro palette, and I'm going to go in with that deeper pink. Now, I wanted to intensify it but not make it too dark, so just a little bit more of a touch of pink. Then I'm going to be going in with this Beauty Bay Pastels palette, and you guys, look at the pigment on this. What? It was so pigmented. It was actually insane. It is the most pigmented pastel palette I have ever used. It is so good, and I think it was like either $5 or $10 on Beauty Bay. So definitely don't sleep on Beauty Bay eyeshadows. They are very, very good. So now that I have the blue packed on, of course, I also want to deepen it up just a little bit. So going back into the Carnival XL Pro palette, I'm going to go in with this blue and kind of just keep it on the lid and then drag it up towards the crease. But this is just to give it a little bit more intensity, make it a little more vibrant. You guys can see the difference from when I just applied the pastels to when I actually applied a little bit of a deeper shade of each one. So that is the blue. I am going to be using another P.LOUISE base. This one right here is in the shade Green with Envy, and I'm gonna go ahead and apply this onto my lower lash line like so. And then I am gonna go in with a green eyeshadow to just put over top, and I'm gonna be using the shade Pistachio from the GLAMLITE palette. So I went in with that color. Again, it is a pastel green, so going in with the base just helps it adhere to the base and just tries to get the most pigment out of the eyeshadow as possible. I also went in with the shade Mango from the GLAMLITE palette, which is the yellow, just to add a little bit of yellow in the inner corner. So let's get into the fun part. We're going to be using some water activated liners. These are from the brand Glam Vice Cosmetics. These are their pastel retro liners. So we're going to be using a blue, which is this one, also a purple, which is called Gelato. I'm also using the pink called Pink Velvet, and this beautiful green, lime green, like chartreuse shade that's called Banana Split. So stunning. And I'm going to be using this brush right here. You guys know I always talk about Michael's brushes. Girl, do not sleep on Michael's brushes. This is a paintbrush, but when I tell you that it is the best for liner work, it's amazing. It's so tiny. It's so easy to work with. So I went off camera and did one eye. So now let's start with the other side. So I'm first going to go in with the purple. This one is in the shade Gelato, and I'm basically just going to add water, but I'm adding the littlest bits of water. And when I'm actually swirling my brush in the product, I'm actually testing it on the back of my hand first, doing a couple strokes to make sure it's not too watery. You don't want your liner too watery, but you also don't want it too dry to where it skips on the eye. So just putting it out there. So I went ahead and created my shape, and then I wanted to do a third kind of rounded little shape. And so what I did is I took a spoolie and kind of just rubbed it off, because I'm going with an extremely light hand, because I'm almost just like sketching this out, and you guys, you can't even tell that I made that little itty bitty mistake. So go in extremely light-handed first, and then after that, once you have your shape and you like the way it's looking, then you can go in and make it thicker, make it more prominent, more intense. I did go over this liner about 3 times, maybe 2 or 3 times depending on the area, and these do not crack. They didn't get any weird and gunky. Basically, the more I applied it, the more pigmented the color turned out to be, as you guys can see here. And of course, the thicker you make the line, the more you're going to really be able to see it. So don't be scared to make it thicker. It's all up to you. Definitely personal preference, but of course, this is what takes the longest time, and it's extremely precise. I definitely say work in sections, like you guys see that I'm doing here. I'm not just doing just like one straight go at it like I did the first time. I'm actually taking my time because I want it to be as perfect as possible. So just a little tip there, definitely take your time. And I wanted some sections to be a little thicker, a little thinner. So I had a lot of fun with this look. I feel like it's so different, it's so fun, it's so creative, and you really could create any shape that you want. So moving on to the next liner. By the way, you guys, sorry for any noise you may hear outside. Those are just the cars passing and really nothing I can do about it. But moving on to the next color, I'm going to be going in with the shade Banana Split. This color is so beautiful and so unique. I'm obsessed. And I'm basically just following the same shape that I created with the purple. So really it's just that initial line or swirl that you're creating, because everything after that is basically following that shape. I hope that makes sense. So I basically did the same exact thing. I created the shape, created the line work, and now I'm going back in and basically just perfecting it, making it a little bit thicker, a little more vibrant. But yeah, so that is basically it for the entire look. That's what I'm doing. And like I said, the key to a look like this is just making sure that the consistency of the water activated liner is not too thin, but it's also not too thick. If it is too thick, it's gonna skip on the eye and it's just gonna create a mess. And if it is too thin and watery, you have a very high chance of it kind of like dripping or really just like bleeding out of the shape that you're trying to create with it. So now I'm going to go back in with the purple and just add another line and kind of just sandwich that lime green shade. I thought it looked really pretty that way. And again, I'm just following the same shape, but you guys can see I'm not starting them all at the same spot. I kind of just made one long, one medium, and one a little bit shorter, kind of to just give it a little bit of a body, a little bit of texture. So now I'm going to go in with the pink. This one is called Pink Velvet. This one is so beautiful, and this is the part where things get a little bit more complicated. complicated, so I'm basically sketching it out, as you guys can see, because I want to create that same shape so it can pretty much mirror the opposite side, so kind of like have that swoop that goes out towards the bridge of the nose. So this part, you definitely want to take your time with it. Make sure you're just looking at the other side, make sure you're just taking a moment, taking a step back, and also working in sections. Like, that is so important when it comes to looks like this. And keep in mind, it's not going to be perfect at first, because when you go back in and you start to re-intensify the line and make it thicker, you can perfect any of those mistakes or skips that you might have made by doing that first initial shape on the eye. So I feel like I did a pretty good job. They pretty much match. So now I'm going to move on to the blue. This one is in the shade Blue Raspberry. It is so stunning. I don't know if this brand went out of business. I was trying to tag them on Instagram and I couldn't find them, but if they still have a website, I'll go ahead and link them down below, because these are so good. It's very hard to find a really good water activated liner that does not crack, and these didn't crack at all. So now I'm going in with the shade Banana Split, and you guys can kind of see when it comes to the blue and to the green, I'm kind of like overlapping the lines. I felt like it just looked really cool, really fun. It reminds me like of a little like groovy moment. I don't know, you guys. I don't know what to call this look. We're gonna call it just something candy inspired. How about that? So I went in with that lime green and just added it to the eye as well. And now I felt like the lid was a little bit bare, so I went in with this ColourPop and PEEPS Super Shock eyeshadow. It's so beautiful, and I feel like it was perfect for this look. This look was just, it was missing a little something. So I feel like when I added this Super Shock shadow, it just took it to the next level. So you guys saw I applied it with my finger first to get it nice and pigmented, and then I went in with a flat brush. This one is from P.LOUISE, just to kind of spread it out onto the lid as best as I can. And when I finally did this, I was like, okay, now this look is coming together. When I did this look the first time, I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. Kiki had came home from work and I was like, listen, I'm gonna say hi to you, but like, don't even judge me, because I don't even know where I'm going with this. I'm just playing with makeup, okay? So moving on to the rhinestones, I'm gonna be using these right here. I got these off Amazon. I love them because you guys can see it comes with more of like a rainbow shifting rhinestone, if that makes sense, and then it comes with your average silver little rhinestones, and I'm using the ones that shift kind of pink and purple as you move throughout the light. So this is super easy to do. I'm just taking some lash glue, one little tiny dot is enough, and then I'm adding the rhinestones where I need them. Some are a little bigger than others, and another thing is you want the shapes to be a little similar when it comes to both eyes, because you're placing the rhinestones in the same places. So just a little tip on that as well. But I feel like the rhinestones just made it really fun, really girly, giving it definitely those festive vibes. So I'm obsessed. I went ahead and popped on my eyelashes off camera. These right here are from POPSY lashes. They're in the style Princess. They're so beautiful. They're not too small, but they're also not too big, so they don't overpower the eye, and you can still see all that beautiful line work. I do have a discount code with POPSY lashes. If you guys are interested, I'll leave it down below. So for my waterline, I'm going in with these cream gel liners from ColourPop. One is a super bright, vibrant pink, but I kind of wanted to tone it down, make it a little bit more pastel. So I went over top with their white eyeliner. I will leave the names down below in the description box, but that basically completes the look. After this, I just went in with some bottom lash mascara. You guys know that I live for the MAC Giga Black Lash Mascara, so that's what I'm going to be using, and I'm going to pack it on because I really want these lower lashes to be as prominent as possible. Something really cool for this look too would be adding like a colored mascara, like maybe a pastel pink or purple or even an orange would have been so pretty. So just putting it out there, but that basically completes today's look. Like I said, if you guys are interested, all of my face makeup details will be down below in the description box, so you guys can check there. I absolutely love this look. It's so fun, definitely giving festival carnival vibes. Thank you guys so much for all the love that you showed over on Instagram. You guys went crazy for this look and I appreciate it so much. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.